right, so let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Temple of Geeks Cosplay Connection. I am your host, Maddie, and Cosplay Connection is all about learning the journey of our fellow cosplayers. And if you guys have any questions as we go through our interview, feel free to drop them in the chat and we will do our best to get to them as we go. So with our guests here, we have Candy and her sweet little one. Candy, can you introduce yourself? Let us know a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Candy Keane. I've been cosplaying for a long time. I used to do it as a job. I had a costume shop and I did commissions and all that good stuff. And then I had this guy that you see lurking behind me here. And I closed my shop. And obviously he's a full-time kind of child, you know?
I totally understand.
So I actually, so now he's about to turn 6 and he's in school and I'm starting to get a little bit more time. So I started getting back into costuming and just as like fun, though not as work or job. Well, I sort of made it a little bit work because I'm doing tutorials and you know, for the YouTube channel and sort of rolling it in with the blog, which is my actual job now instead of costume making. So I'm trying to keep costume making fun and blog work, but put them together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. This dorky nerd says that she loves your outfit.
Oh, thank you. This is my St. Patrick's Day dress that I got last year, to where we were going to do a whole, we were going to do a big St. Patrick's Day parade, and we were going to be in the parade, and yeah, so I was going to wear it for the parade, and then COVID hit and didn't get to do anything for St. Patrick's Day, and don't expect to be doing anything now. So I'm wearing it for this.
Perfect. Love it. That's fantastic. And as you guys are coming in joining, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them as a comment in the chat and we will do our best to get to them. So you said you've been cosplaying and costume making for a really long time. Was sewing and crafting kind of a skill that you had before costume making, or was that something that you learned because you wanted to make costumes?
It's something that I grew up with. I got my sewing machine when I was 12, and I still have that same sewing machine. It's actually my favorite one. It's the one that I still use now. I've gone through several, and I keep going back to that one. But my mom and my grandmother sewed. My grandmother taught me everything I know, like about sewing, and so it's just something that I always did, and Halloween was always a big thing. Growing up, we would just plan all year long for Halloween, and then later, like when we discovered cosplay and conventions, and we didn't have to wait all year anymore to dress up, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always sewed and crafted and created and made costumes, and there is a lot going on behind it.
That it is all good. I love it. It's part of your brand, you know, like you said, you have your little one. I totally get it. That's awesome. So we have a question here. Forgive me, Janice Andin. Jan and Satan Dan. I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering your username. How do you keep up the gist when on lockdown?
Keep up the what?
Like I guess like how do you keep up like the costuming, I guess is that what you're asking, my friend in the chat?
How do I keep, well, I didn't really keep it up. I just started getting it going. Yeah, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and I had no reason to dress up, and I was very like kind of poopy about the whole thing. And didn't have any desire to make a costume or do anything. And then I just really missed it. And then also I started doing those like cosplay transformation things on TikTok. I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So I started dressing up for that and doing the little videos, and then in between that, like I take pictures of the costumes, and the like phone and editing and Photoshop is so much better now than when I first started like modeling or taking costumes. I'm like blown away by what you can do with a selfie at your house, you know. I was like,
Yes.
wow. So that made me want to go through all the costumes that I don't have decent photos of yet and take pictures of them. So I started going through those, and every time I do a costume, then I want to do like a transition TikTok thing. And so that's sort of keeping me going right now. I overall, I really, it took me a while to get on TikTok, and I didn't like it, and I still sort of don't like it. Like when I sign on, it's just like, just things are like shouting and in your face, and I like immediately turn my sound down, you know. And so, but I like making the little, you know, magical transformation videos. So they're fun. So that kind of keeps me going and makes me want to dress up. I just did, so since I was putting makeup on today, I did, right before this, I did like a Captain America transformation thing. So I'll post that later on TikTok. And all my social media is the same. So Geek Mama, like TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, everything is So Geek Mama. Because
Perfect.
else has that one, I guess.
That's perfect. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, that's wonderful. And M.Dua. Wow, you guys, my mouth and my brain are not connecting today. I apologize for the stuttering that is going on this afternoon.
All
right. She says, yay for cosplay TikTok and yay for photo editing technology. Hello there, chat and time. Yeah, so it's awesome. It's amazing how far it's, you know, being able to edit things has come for sure. And so, you know, with having a little one as a cosplay mom, how do you balance like the cosplay life with mom life?
I am still finding my balance, still trying to figure all that out. You know, there's nothing really going on right now, so it's been, so it's not like I have to plan around conventions or anything. When he was little, I dragged him to a lot of conventions, and he's not entirely into it yet. And I dressed him up in a lot of things that he just like spit up on, got messed up, or ripped off.
Aww.
So, you know, we just went to Disney, and I saw all the little girls dressed up in all the beautiful princess outfits. I'm just like, oh my God. And, you know, of course, I do all the costumes, and I get a kid who like will not dress up.
Of course.
Does not, he would rather be hiding behind me.
Right.
The time, you know, it's like, all right, but you know, maybe someday. he does have like 5 Spider-Man suits, so
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, Spider-Man is wonderful, you know. And hey, everyone coming in, if you guys have any questions for Candy, please feel free to leave them in the chat as we go, and we will do our best to answer as many of them as we can. And so that kind of answers my next question. I was going to ask if you're, you know, if your child gets involved in cosplaying with you, but it sounds like he's a little bit on the reluctant side if he does it at all. Is he happy to wear those Spider-Man outfits, or is that more?
I mean, you know, it's when he wants to dress up, I'm like, yay!
Right.
Then when he doesn't, I'm not gonna force him to. You know?
Yeah.
I only did that when he was a baby.
Right. When they don't have an opinion, right?
Yes. Yeah. And he developed opinions very early, so. But yeah, so I try to get him involved, you know. The last convention we went to, he didn't dress up at all. But I keep hoping he will, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I do have sort of a trick for getting him involved in my costume is I just make him a t-shirt that matches what I'm wearing. So if I'm Supergirl, then he has a Superman t-shirt, or, you know, if like I'll do Mary Jane and he can wear a Spider-Man t-shirt or something, you know, something simple where I can kind of be like, he matches me.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's what I did with my son too. When I took him to Gallifrey 1, I made him a TARDIS t-shirt. And I feel like that's perfect for you know, for kids. For those of you who have kids who don't want to cosplay, here's a tip.
Yes.
Matching t-shirts.
You know, when my first year as a mom, I was still doing trying to do the conventions and the panels and the guest stuff, and I was all like gung-ho with my cosplay with kids panel, and I did a big cosplay with kids panel at MegaCon, and I realized I had nothing really, no experience to share because my kid wouldn't cosplay.
Of course.
And by the time I was doing the panel a second time, and I was like, you know, just I need to pick a different topic.
It happens. This dorky nerd says that's always how it goes with kids. Never want to cosplay with their parents. Yeah, we can attest to that. Runs with Dogs 2 asks, can you describe your process of how you go from character inspiration to an actual costume?
I don't. That's the process. I like to, like, when I see something sort of clicks and I start seeing how it can be made, and that's what usually will attract me to a costume too. Like, I'll see something and I'm like, well, first course you're like, that's badass, I want to make that, you know, and then the next process is, can I make that and how can I do it? And then I start thinking about what can I use to make those things? What will I have to make from scratch? So it starts, you know, rolling in your mind how you're going to put it together. And once that starts rolling, then you start doing the research and looking up and seeing if those parts and pieces are available for a reasonable price. Which is a whole kind of new world for me. Is making costumes for fun, because I'm so used to, I had my business for 11 years, so over a decade I made.
Oh, wow.
And so with the store, I had an entire inventory of everything you needed, you know, corsets and costumes and stockings and gloves and wigs of every kind at my disposal. And now I don't, but I have Amazon, which is very handy.
Yes.
So I've become like Amazon's best customer, you know. But also now, because before it was a business, so everything that I wanted to do, I could, because it was all business expense, and I'd end up either making more of the costume and selling it, or making it for myself and then making it for other people and selling it, or, you know. But now it's just like, it's just for fun. I can't go spend $100, you know, or like hundreds of dollars on a costume every week or something just because I want to do it. So I have to learn to be a little more thrifty and creative.
Right.
These days.
Yes. That's totally so true. And so when you are making the cosplays, but you know, yourself, what element do you tend to start with first?
What do you mean, what element?
So like, is there a certain piece? So like, let's say like with your Captain Marvel or not Captain Marvel, the Scarlet Witch outfit, what piece did you make first? And is that kind of like what you do with all of your costumes that you make?
I don't really have a process where I go after a certain thing first. I think with Scarlet Witch, the main thing was, or possibly I do, the main thing I think would be finding the thing that's going to be the hardest to make. Like, what is going to be the difficult part of the costume that you're going to have to make for scratch, which Scarlet Witch is fairly easy. I mean, all those pieces can be bought and pieced together, except headpiece. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, I have to figure out how to make this and fit and put it on and everything. So I basically look for what's going to give me trouble. Let's see if I can get that out of the way. And if I can, then we're good to go.
Right. I love that. That's so smart to do the things that are going to give you the most trouble. And then you can go, wow, the rest was easy.
Yeah, because if that fails, you know, you're just like, I give up now.
Oh. Let's see. We got some questions coming in. For those of you popping in, leave your questions in the comments. If you have any for Candy, we will get to them as we go along. Let's see. Where did it go? I lost the question. Oh, here it is. This dorky nerd asks, what are your cosplay storage tips?
Oh, well, I don't have if I had the camera mobile, I would take you guys into my cosplay room. But so I have a room, I have a whole room, and I have costumes in the attic and costumes everywhere. But I do have a dedicated room that just has drawers, like, you know, those plastic drawers. It'd be nice if it was prettier, but plastic drawers are affordable, and you know, so it's just drawers, and I have everything labeled. So I have the costumes with all their parts and pieces together in drawers. I have like usually 2 to 3 costumes in a drawer. Then I have a whole like tower of drawers for my wigs, and each drawer is labeled with different colors. So like white, blonde, brunette, red, you know, like I have all the wigs together. And then I have drawers for gloves, drawers for headpieces, drawers for corsets. So I have lots of drawers with lots of labels.
I love that. That's actually inspiring. You kind of like make me want to go reorganize my cosplay drawers, because I kind of have stuff just shoved into the drawer. And so now I'm like, oh, labels. Yes.
Yeah,
that's so smart.
I do little labels, put them on the front, so that way it makes them all easy to find.
Yes.
If there's specific costume parts, then they're together. But if like the wig will work with something else, then it's in the wig drawer. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Awesome. Very cool. Let's see. Wizard and the Lizard author says, Candy is the best cosplayer. She is so inspiring. I can't wait till Comic-Cons open back up. Aw.
Well, thank you.
Jesse Cruz Official asks, any thoughts on doing custom Supergirl from the animated series?
Is the animated series the one with the white shirt and the red boots and the gloves? Is that, do you know?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not super familiar with the DC animated universe. I apologize for you DC animated universe fans.
Reply back if that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, Jesse Cruz Official.
I actually have those parts in a drawer.
Oh, there we go. So there's your thoughts.
I was working on that one. I was just like, I need to do some more sit-ups first. That one is like interfering.
Jesse Cruz Official says yes.
Don't do the rowing machine, okay? It's kind of loud. I have sun on the rowing machine behind us. Just like, I'm gonna work out while you guys are doing this. You know?
Of course, yeah, naturally. They're totally fine until we start doing things, right? That's usually how it goes.
Actually, he was playing Halo for most of the day, Halo 4. He's very good at it. He likes to just like play it all the way through. And I don't know, it's quite a nice story. I don't know if you know.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, it's like a love story, and he's trying to save Cortana, and like I like to stop and I'll watch the movie parts in between him playing, you know. So I was like, he was entertained, but now he wants to work out all around us.
Of course. It's all good. It happens. It's life. But Jesse Cruz Official does say yes, that's the one that they were talking about, was the one that you described.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I have been that one's a lot to do list.
Yay, so there we go. Awesome. Let's see. Jesse Cruz Official is asking, is there a way we could do a crossover of Risky Business and Splash Movie where Joel Goodson meets Madison?
I have no idea.
I don't know what that means. That sounds like, I mean, I'm all for crossovers.
I mean, I know all those characters and things. I don't know how you make that come alive, I guess.
This dorky nerd says, I like video games for the storylines, but don't play video games often. I just love the stories. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And for those of you who are coming in new, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments as we go along with our interview. So far in your costume making,
That noise.
it's all good. You know, I know you said that you've been in the costume making business for over a decade. What has been your toughest project that you have, that like toughest cosplay that you've tackled?
Okay. Stop making the
Mom life.
Stop making the shooting noises. No, yes, you were. You were making the shooting noises. Sorry, you make sense.
It's okay.
You were making the shooting noises. You can sit next to me if you want. You can sit in my lap. You want to sit in my lap? Don't row. Don't row. You know, all day long he's been very entertaining, very good, doing his own thing, like, totally self-sufficient. I was like, wow, we're having a great day. I was like, you know, I had time for makeup, and now he's like, I am going to just orbit around you and do random weird things.
I totally understand. It is all good. It is all good. No need to apologize here. You've been, you know, you've been in the costume making business for a long time. What has been the toughest cosplay that you've put together?
You know, I've done so many different outfits. It's not that there's one, I think, that was the most difficult. Really, sometimes it's like pieces of ones that were the most difficult, or I guess, well, if you would, okay, so we want to do like an overall most difficult one. It would be like the very first one I did that was incredibly complicated, and I had zero resources. There was no Amazon. There was no Warbla. There was no nothing. It was 1995, and I was doing Eon Flux because I loved MTV's Liquid Television. So not the movie Eon Flux, but Liquid Television for the movie. And you could see Liquid Television, just stayed up until like midnight and watched MTV. And I was totally obsessed with that. And so to put together that costume took so much work. I had to go to every adult sex shop in town to try and find the base pieces for it. I like the vinyl leather, like bra and underwear, and that I built the whole costume on, because like I said, there was no Amazon where you could order that overnight. They didn't carry that stuff in regular stores. And so to get my costume parts, and often also back in the 90s, the only places that would carry all these costumes were sex shops. And that's what pushed me to open my costume store, because I was like, people should be able to like shop for costumes without like, you know, all this other stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's always how it was. It was like, you know, novelties, sex shop costume stuff. And so so that's what pushed me to open my own costume store. And that was a lot of fun, but I think I closed it at the right time, because Amazon was starting to creep in, and now just, you know, even I'm shopping on Amazon.
Right.
But well, I forgot the main question.
No, you nailed it. You got it. I was asking the toughest costume, and I think you nailed it.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, I put that together with so I found the underlying like bra and underwear action, and then and all there were like little sort of, you know, bondage accessories, like again had to go to the sex shop for. So it's was an interesting time.
Yes. Yeah, this dorky nerd says, "Yup, the 90s costume hunting was impossible." Yeah, I'm always in awe of seeing photos of people making who had made costumes, like you said, before Amazon, before eBay, before there were reference pictures on the internet. Like I'm sure you looked amazing, but I'm sure again it was tough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No internet pictures. So I ordered to make the costume I don't even know how to pronounce it right. The Herodotus file, Herodotus. When you
Hmm.
eat something you don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like Herodotus. But it was an entire like book about Eon Flux, and so it had lots of good pictures. And then I recorded on VHS Eon Flux and freeze framed it, but it's not like I had a camera, a phone to take pictures of.
Hmm.
So the freeze frame and then try and like match it to the freeze frame on the TV. It's quite a different time. Things are
Yeah.
so much easier now.
Yes, man, for all of us cosplayers, we should feel really lucky and really blessed to have modern technology.
A whole new cosplay world now.
Yes, absolutely. And so when do you decide to make your own costume versus like commissioning or buying it from someone else?
I never bought or commissioned a costume until the last couple of years. So it was
Okay.
I would always only wear what I made, because the whole point for me really was enjoying the process of making it and creating it. And so that was a big part for me, was just the creation. And then wearing it was like the cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then I missed costuming and didn't have time to actually make anything. So the first costume I ever commissioned was from my friend. She's on Facebook as Jenna Esposito Cosplay, and she's the one who made my Antiope outfit, because I was like, I really badly want to wear that, but I don't have time to learn and do all the foam smithing and all that stuff. I had just had Keelan, and I was just like, I just want to wear the cool costume.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I got that commissioned, and it was a great experience actually with her. It it fit beautifully, it looked great, and then I ordered a costume for the first time, and that's the Captain Marvel costume, and that was a bad experience. Took me 4 months to get it. Didn't fit when it got here, even though I typically asked for like 2 inches longer in the torso, because I'm like, I'm tall, I'm 5'9", I don't fit anything like one piece normally,
Yeah.
at least not comfortably.
Right.
So, and it didn't fit, and then I immediately like blew out the side zipper, and nothing makes you feel good like
right
blowing out the zipper.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man. So I haven't had good like buying random costume experiences, which I feel like I may have actually been asking people like, where do you buy costumes at, because I haven't really done that, and my first experience wasn't all that good. But
right.
so I have been looking into buying certain things, because I just don't have the time or the resources like I used to. Like I really wanted to Zelda, like the new Zelda from Breath of the Wild and the Hyrule Warriors, and so I've been looking at the costume places, and it's so hard because they all look the same, and they're all overseas, and I don't want a 4-month bad doesn't fit experience.
Right.
And also, I don't have time to make that from scratch. It will take me 6 months.
Yes, I totally understand. I totally understand. And for those of you who are possibly watching the replay, or even right now as you're watching it live, if you have any recommendations for costume shops that you've had really good experiences with, please leave them in the comments.
Yes, I am for that. I need recommendations.
Yes, Yes, that would be wonderful. Jesse Cruz Official is asking, did you ever do a custom costume of Catwoman from Batman Returns 1992?
Um, that would be, let's say Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah. I have, what's it, in one of my drawers. I have all the parts to make that. I have the suit. I got I got down, like, I get so detailed when I make the costumes, like every part and piece. Like, I like blew up her fingers to see the caps that she has on her fingers, little like thimble caps with claws coming out. So I actually have all those pieces in a drawer waiting to be made into a costume. That's a future cosplay.
Yes, that's wonderful. Very cool. Yeah, Wonder Bira says, yes, that was Michelle. Yeah, so you nailed it. And so, without conventions happening, we are luckily getting things announced for, the end of this year. So there's a little bit of hope. But in this last year, when there were no conventions, were you finding that social media helped you like stay engaged with the cosplay community?
I do now. I didn't at first. I wasn't doing anything new. I wasn't. I was just sort of consumed by COVID and nothing going on, and
Yeah.
Now that sort of crawling out from underneath my cosplay rock. Oh, sorry, my son just jumped over. Now I feel that it is totally helping me connect, and I'm
This dorky nerd asks, do you have any wig shopping tips and any wig wearing tips?
like, where do I start? I love wigs. I would. I don't even know why I have hair, because I would rather wear a wig. To be completely honest, it's so much easier, and they don't like, because I'm in Florida, and it's like you can curl your hair and make it look all beautiful, and then you step outside and it just it's like gone in a second. You're like, I spent 2 hours on this, and it doesn't, and then it just. But with a wig, it looks perfect. So, which is why I have 2 drawers of blonde wigs that look exactly like my hair. And so my favorite, let's see, I have all kinds of wigs. One of my, I just gotten into lace front wigs, which is really cool when you need like it raised in the front, you want to show the hairline. One of my favorite things is like doing the half wigs, where you take like all your real hair and you pull it out in front, and then you put the wig on the back half, and then it makes it look extra realistic. For all my wigs, I take, and on the inside band, I sew in a comb. So I sew comb into the inside top so that it attaches, and then when I'm putting the wig in, I think the best way to get it to like not go anywhere is I use dry shampoo or hairspray, and I spray the hairline, so that way it creates something solid to slide that comb into and kind of hold it, and that way your wig isn't creeping back on your head. And I know it's odd, but I never use wig caps. I never use wig caps or anything like that. I braid all my hair, swirl it around, pin the crap out of it, then spray it, and then put the wig on.
Nice. That's awesome. And they always look so good. Your pictures always look amazing with your wigs. Do you have like your favorite places where you get your wigs?
I was like, I haven't bought a wig in a long time. But I did get this one. Actually, this is the most recent wig that I got. I got this on Amazon nowhere, and I wouldn't entirely recommend it because, like, when it goes back, you can see the wig line. This is a super cheap wig. It looks good because I have combed it just so. But when I was getting wigs and when I was carrying them in my shop, one of the main places has closed down, but the other main place was Arda Wigs. I'm assuming they're still in business. I have not
Yes.
And that's one thing I've found now that I am getting back into cosplay after 5 years, pretty much 5, 6 years. A lot of the places that I got stuff from or used to work with have closed. But I think Arda is still around, and those wigs were always really nice, really good quality. I'm sure there's a million wig places now, but that's one place I remember.
Awesome. And I've heard such good things about Arda Wigs. Lady of Time.
They're still around.
Yes, yeah. Lady of Time Cosplay says she loves Arda Wigs as well. So yeah, they are still around. And the Jersey Mama wants to know if you posted a makeup tutorial yet. She would love to see how you do your lashes.
I have not, but like the lashes is that's on my to-do list. I want to do the lashes tutorial because even like sometimes when I get my friends who don't dress up or cosplay, like that's always the number one thing is lashes. Like I'm like, you have to put on lashes. You're not dressed up until you put on your lashes. That's how I because
right.
I have stumpy little nothing lashes. So unless I put on my favorite lash thing, I actually learned from a drag queen friend, was doubling up on the lashes. So I do a strip of lashes and then I take another strip, cut them in half, and then put that on the outside edges. So you have your full lash and then an extra floof on the end.
Ooh, I love that. Extra floof. I love that. That's awesome.
Difference.
Yeah. Lady of Time Cosplay says that Arda wigs are the only wigs that fit her big head plus thick hair comfortably.
I have heard that about Arda wigs. Yes, that they fit big heads.
Yes.
I actually have a small head. Like I have a tiny head, but they are adjustable. So you take the hooks. Like I have to take the hooks and like I cross them over at the bottom. Like I wear like child size hats. I'm still getting beat up over here. But so Arda wigs not only fit big heads, but you can also make them look good on small heads. They look good on all heads. So I'm glad to know that at least one thing I know from the cosplay thing is still going in it's Arda wigs.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yeah, Jessie Cruz official, where can I get an Arda wig? Because I'm bald and I need to cover my head.
Arda.com or Arda wigs, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure if you Google Arda wigs, their website will show up. And they have a lot to choose from. So yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions for Candy before we close out? We'll wait a couple minutes and see if any last moment questions pop in. But I mean, it's been great talking to you and getting to know your story and your journey through cosplay and your journey back into cosplay. Yeah. I hope it's been positive.
Journey back. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to go from a place when I started, there just wasn't a ton of people into cosplay. There wasn't a ton of people doing it. There wasn't a ton of people online. There was really kind of like, it was small, and then it exploded, and now there's a ton of people, and it's kind of like you get on and then you see these people with like full sets of armor and all this amazing stuff, and you're like, and you get a little intimidated, and you're like, I've been doing this for like 30 years and I'm intimidated. So I try not to do that.
Right. Yeah. This dorky nerd says, thank you for sharing your insight and your story. And so that is going to wrap up our interview. Candy already let us know where you can find her on social media. So again, what's your handles for everyone one more time?
So Geek Mama, because I'm a geek and I'm a mama. So
awesome.
It was sort of a play on, it made me think of like, the Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, So Geek Mama.
Love it. Perfect. Yep. And that's her handle across all social media platforms. So you can find her there. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. For more Cosplay Connection, you can check out our YouTube channel, or you can head over to templeofgeek.com. The links are in our bio here on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter using the same handle, Temple of Geek. My name is Maddie, and thank you guys for joining us, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic day.
Bye.